All right, so in this video, I'm going to break down this month where I made $46,000 trading options. And I'm basically just going to give you my entire strategy for free. And before you think you need a ton of money to do this, you actually don't. You can see here I put in $320 and I got $10,425 back. Here's another one. This is $312 in, $7,000 back. Here's another one, not as good, but $360 in, about $3,000 back. And the reason that I'm able to do this is because this is not day trading. This is swing trading. So swing trading is basically just holding anything overnight or for multiple days. A day trade is considered if you buy it and sell it within the same day. So for example, right here, this is the 5-minute chart. You can see, this is when the market opened, when this turns black, and this is when the market closes. When the black goes away, it turns gray. So I'm buying it based on this chart, but I'm looking at the bigger picture. So I'm looking at the daily chart over here. We can see, if I bought this and maybe caught this entire move, it went down 5.25%. So maybe you traded puts on that. But if I bought this focusing on the bigger picture and I held it for multiple days, you can see that this made a 200% move in 28 days. So what I'm doing is called trend following. Now, what I'm looking for is a stock that starts to make an initial move up, pulls back and goes sideways for a little bit, and I'm buying it as soon as that trend continues. And same thing again, initial move up, pulls back, goes sideways for a little bit. I buy it as soon as that trend continues. So I'm buying it off the 5-minute or the 1-minute chart as soon as it's breaking out, but I intend to hold this for multiple days. A lot of people get this wrong and they don't understand that with trading, you're trying to catch a trend. The bigger the move, the more money you make. And if you're day trading, you're just looking at this little chart. You're buying and selling within the same day. A lot of people might argue that day trading, you can get very tight stops. You're getting the same risk to reward, but that's not true because I'm buying on this 5-minute or 1-minute time frame, yet I intend to hold on the daily. And, that can be weeks, it can be a couple days, it can be months sometimes. So what I do to look for a stock is I have these scans right here. This is the 1-month gainer, 3-month gainer, and 6-month gainer. Now, basically what these are doing is they're filtering out the top 2% of strongest stocks. I'm looking for stocks that are moving faster than 5% per day, have a price history above $1, and have at least $30 million volume. This makes sure that there's enough money in there. You're not going to be in some shitty penny stock. And of course, it's not going to be a penny stock because we want to make sure it's above $1. And then the ADR being 5% or higher, that means that the stock moves faster than 5% per day. You guys always ask me, how do I find these stocks that make 200% moves in a month when you have something like Apple, for example, which it's not going to do that. This looks like a big move, right? But this is only 30% in 4.2 months. You want to be in the fastest stocks, which is why I've added this filter of the 5% average daily range. So basically what I would do is I would go through this list. I'd find a stock that's making a big move up, starting to pull back and go sideways. Make sure that it's building an orderly range, which we can take a look at BBAI. This is a great example right here. We can see this thing made a big move up, started to pull back, put in higher lows and lower highs. Now that is very, very, very important. So there's a couple ways that this setup will look. You have the first one right here where it makes this big initial move up, pulls back, and then starts putting in these higher lows here while the top kind of stays flat. And then you have the one over here where you have this big initial move up, it pulls back and it puts in not only lower highs, but higher lows. And this thing is just really coiling up. It's just tightening up a lot. Both of these are really good. The tighter the range, the better. But sometimes, it can be a little bit wonky and it's not going to be perfect. This one, in my opinion, was damn near perfect. And then we have a setup like this on DXYZ where it makes a very, very big move up, pulls back to this moving average. You can see it starts to put in these higher lows just like that. This thing is tightening up a lot, and then we get those thin candles right along the 10 here, and then it breaks out this day. So this is the day that I want to buy it. And then, for example, on BBAI, this is the day that I'd want to buy it. So as soon as it starts breaking out and it's confirmed, I'm not buying this when it's in the middle of the range saying, oh, it's going to go up, so let me just buy it. That's just not how it works. This right here, if you want to pause the video, is kind of like a checklist for the breakout. By the way, guys, this is on the 1-day chart. So the only time I'm looking for setups is on the 1-day chart. And the only indicators that I use are the 10, the 20, the 50, and the 200 simple moving average. And then I also have volume, and then I have a 22 exponential moving average on it. You don't really need that. But yeah, looking at the setup right here, again, guys, very, very easy. Big move up, orderly pullback. We have those higher lows, lower highs. The stock is building this nice range over a couple days. This can be a couple days. This can be a couple weeks. Sometimes it's a couple months. And as this is consolidating, the volume is drying out. So you can see that as this is going sideways, the volume is slowly but surely just trickling down. We can see with this white line, it's definitely doing that. And then as soon as it starts to break out, you want this to be a high volume day. So this right here is a very, very high volume day. Now I'm going to show you guys on the 5-minute here on TradingView because I can't go all the way back on TC2000. But basically, this is the day that the stock was breaking out. So we have This day right here, this green day right here is going to be this day. So, take a look at that, take a look at this. So as soon as this starts breaking out, this is the first 5-minute candle right here. We can see already within the first couple minutes, this volume is fucking huge. We know this is breakout day. We know this is going to be a very, very high volume day because look at the first 5-minute candle. This volume is insane. And when do I buy it? Well, I wait for this first 5-minute candle highs to be taken out. So if we go over to the next few candles, didn't take it out, and then right about here, that's when it took out the 5-minute highs. So you can see a couple times it struggled, these two candles. I'm buying it as soon as it breaks those 5-minute highs, and this can be on the 5-minute chart, it can be on the 1-minute chart, whatever you want to do. You can even do it on the 1-hour chart. The smaller the time frame, the quicker your entry is going to be, and the tighter your stop loss is going to be. So if you're quick enough to do it on the 1-minute, go for it. You're going to make more money doing that. Yeah, so you buy it as soon as those opening range highs are taken out, whether that's the 1-minute, the 5-minute, 60-minute, whatever. You buy it as soon as those highs are taken out, and your stop loss will always be at the low of the day. So that would be right down here. This creates a very, very small stop. This is like a day trading style stop. We can see entering at 475. Now, if we go over here and we look at 475, you can see that's right about here on this candle. So remember, 475 entry. Let's take a look at the next couple days. I mean, that 475 just looks like absolutely nothing at this point. So from 475 all the way to the peak of this run, we can see that this thing made about a 117% move in 8 days. All right, so now that you know where to buy it, how do we sell this? How do you know when to sell this? Well, again, this is going back to these indicators that I use. The 10 simple moving average, again, we're on the daily chart. I wait until this stock is about to close under the 10-day simple moving average, and that's going to tell me to sell the position. So we can see after it's about to close, a couple minutes before the market's about to close, I can see this is below the 10 on the daily chart. I would get rid of that, and, that's that. I wouldn't look back. There's no point. And you can see what happens after this. So you catch the bulk of this move. Obviously, you sell your position, on the way up. You start selling some of it, but you don't sell the entire thing until it closes under here. So that way you know exactly when to enter and exactly when to exit. You're not guessing. You're using indicators. You're using these moving averages. And you actually have a strategy now. We can go back and look at SMCI. This was a super, super strong stock coming into this. So you can see, it starts picking up, and then it goes sideways for a while, putting in higher lows the entire time. And this day breaks out on very, very high volume here. You're buying it that day. When do you sell it? When it closes under the 10, which is right here, this day, or actually this day. I actually exited this one on this day right here as soon as market opened, a couple minutes into open, and then I shorted it all the way down, and this made me about 2,200% in 2 hours. So that was that example where I showed you $312 into $6,960. This was also the exact same strategy. I got $4,470 in, got $16,472 out. So obviously in this one, I did put in more to make, not as much. This is a 268% return, but either way, still amazing. Was this trade right here, this big red day. So you guys remember on SMCI, like I just showed you, this big red day right there. There's a way to catch these. If this video blows up, I'll do a strategy video on that exact setup, and I'll show you guys how I'm able to make that much money trading puts, and it's just in a few hours. That one is a day trade. So if you guys want to see that, comment puts or something like that. I don't know. And yeah, as always, I do have a personal mentorship. So if you guys want me to work with you one-on-one, you want me to teach you all this stuff, and you want me to tell you exactly what I buy, exactly what I sell, and a bunch of other stuff,